In this clip, Joe Rogan and Iliza Shlesinger talk about Mahsa Amini and discuss the challenges women face in Iran. Take a look.
Well, that's the argument on the other side. You talk about freedom. When people shit on America and they're like, oh, I hate when people talk about Nazi Germany or the Holocaust because it's people who are just using it as a pawn in an argument. The fact that I'm allowed to sit here and say whatever the fuck I want and there's not secret police outside is a beautiful thing. And yes, there are countries where you can also do that, but that is something that's very special. Like, I am not afraid. I'm afraid of some people saying horrible things to me, but I'm not afraid of my financial viability and my family's safety.
Right.
Because I said I don't like a government decision or the president or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's the level of freedom that we have here that doesn't exist in Iran, for example.
Well,
that's this woman who was killed for not having her headscarf on
Mahsa
properly.
Amini.
It has ignited this wave of protests all over the world and all through Iran where they're just really freaking out and recognizing, like, this has got to fucking change.
So her name was Mahsa Amini.
For those unfamiliar with the story, Mahsa Amini was a 22-year-old Iranian woman who died after being detained by the country's morality police for allegedly violating hijab rules, an event that ignited massive protests across Iran against the government's oppression of women.
And they have this morality police there. So her hijab was off by like an inch or two. And they will come and take you even if you are properly dressed. It's just this like downer police that comes and they beat her into a coma. Another girl recently, I have goosebumps because I reposted a story about her. Really pretty girl dancing on TikTok, murdered. Like, they just come and take you. And I'm on TikTok and there's footage of this, of these people being arrested and beaten and killed, and they're saying the government is turning off our internet. Please be our voice. And so then you start to think, like, as a woman, as an American, like, how can I help this? You can't like donate money. They're literally saying, please show the world because we can't. And it's happening to girls, normal girls that could be one of your friends. And it's so terrifying. And that's what this uprising is. Like, at a certain point, sometimes just like enough is enough. And that's what they're doing. And I've just done my part in trying to amplify that for them and sharing those videos because I think a lot of people don't know that's happening. We don't live in a world where the government, they control a lot, but like they're controlling your internet. Like, they're not going to turn your internet off because it's privatized. And so that's what's happening with them. And they're in the streets and there's footage of girls like pushing back against guards coming to their schools, trying to arrest them.
Yeah.
Civil unrest in the streets. Families just being murdered, young girls just being killed. I think somebody said something, I don't know if this is right, that like 80% of the population in Iran is like Gen Z or something because of how many people get killed or something. Don't quote me on that, but it's a crazy thing. And this is not, I think it's very easy for people to look at the Middle East and think of it as the way that we portray it in movies, but Iran was a normal, we have a lot of Jews and a lot of non-Jews in LA that are Persian that came there with tons of money. After the ousting of the Shah in the 70s, this was a place that had movie theaters and women wearing skirts and like it was normal, kind of like Afghanistan was at some point. The way that that these women are being treated now, like this was not the way that it always was.
Right.
And they deserve fucking better. Nobody deserves anything even close.
It's very scary when a country can decline into a religious dictatorship.
Here's a quick overview for anyone interested. In Iran, women live under strict government laws that regulate parts of their daily lives, especially their clothing in public. Since the early years of the Islamic Republic, women have been legally required to wear a hijab and follow a state-mandated dress code enforced by the country's morality police. Violating these rules can lead to fines, detention, prison time, or even harsher consequences. Human rights organizations have long criticized these laws, arguing that they severely limit women's personal freedom and independence. Many activists say real reform is necessary so women in Iran can enjoy the same basic rights and freedoms that women in much of the rest of the world already have.